Well, we're just starting to get a sense now of the impact of what we're going through economically, but it's yet to really fully be told on the official numbers. So official unemployment rate's still down at literally a very incredibly low rate, kind of 3.9%. But when you scratch beneath the surface, we're now starting to see some of the evidence of what's going on. And obviously, the furlough scheme is the big economic story in this country still at the moment, but that's starting to come to an end at the moment. And we're now starting to get a sense of what that might actually mean for the UK economy. And let me just show you a few charts that illustrate that. First of all, when we look at the total number of people who are in paid employment, so paid employees in the UK, we now see that that is falling very sharply indeed. So down just another leg in the last month, down by 730,000 over the last few months. So a very big fall, 750,000 people out of paid employment. And when we look at other measures of what's going on in the labour market, you get a pretty striking vision that things are not normal right now. So as I say, official employment numbers are starting to come down, but they're not really showing the full reality. The full reality is really kind of shown by this chart. Now, these lines show you the number of people who have been temporarily away from paid work in previous years. So relatively flat there in the first 26 weeks of the year. Let's bring on this year, and you get this incredibly striking picture. That's about 7.5 million people temporarily away from paid work. Now, that is basically the furlough scheme. And the big question about the economy right now is how many of those people come back to work after the furlough scheme comes to an end. It is ratcheting to an end at the moment, so the prices are going up, the cost is going up for employers. The question is how many of those people come back to work and what that means for the unemployment rate. And to be honest with you, no one really knows the answer. And that's one of the scariest things in the UK economy at the moment. But we do know, unfortunately, the news is going to get worse.
Answer me this. How are people going to pay these tax rises when the economy's crashing and people are losing their jobs? How does the government make their money? We give it to them. So they cause this lockdown and they cause the economy to crash. Don't you see how it's all part of the agenda?
It is last orders in many parts of Scotland once again. Through the populous central belt, including the capital Edinburgh, all venues will have to shut their doors from 6 p.m. on Friday for the next 16 days, at least. Bar and pub owner Nick Wood watched as the First Minister spoke. He says the industry is being unfairly targeted.
We don't think it's actually hospitality that's been driving this, but the Scottish Government have to point at somebody and they have to blame somebody, and I think we are being very unfairly used as the scapegoat just now for that.
And how does that make you feel as a businessman who's trying to get his business back on track?
Incredibly frustrated. I'm just gutted. I'm gutted for the effort that everybody's put into this in the entire industry. I'm gutted that we're back at what feels like square one again, back to kind of March.
Venues outside the central belt will be able to remain open between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m, but won't be able to sell alcohol indoors. Scotland's leader hopes the measures will prevent more draconian restrictions in the future.
These new restrictions are intended to last for 16 days. They are intended to be short, sharp action to arrest a worrying increase in infection. Although they are temporary, though, they are needed.
Whoa. Well, if you can't see that that's a man, there's nothing I can do for you. But we all know the answer to this, don't we? The economy crashing, lockdowns, it's coming.
Never sleep again, 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 again.